PGMOL statement, which is not only should it have been reviewed, it should have been a red card. Your thoughts, Stevie?
Surprise, surprise.
At least they got it.
I mean, even they couldn't defend their own.
No.
It's indefensible, quite frankly, and not a surprise. And had they come out and said anything other than what they did,
sure,
they would have been laughed out the building.
Don, production tells me you were on the call for this game. What did you see when you saw it live?
I called it straight away, and Sam Barrett should have spotted it straight away. If Sam Barrett's a very promising young referee, but he'll learn from that because he has to be brave enough to call that in real time. I did, because, you know, it's a shocking tackle. It's a leg-breaking tackle. It ticks all the boxes for it to be a red card. It's endangering an opponent. It's got speed. It's got intensity. It's got force. It's an awful tackle. It's a leg-breaking tackle. It's a career-ending tackle. And Paul Tierney, who was in the VAR hub, absolutely didn't help Sam Barrett out whatsoever. So I can half excuse the referee, even though I want the referee on the field to spot that, because if you're going to improve, you need to spot that in real time. But Paul Tierney in the VAR hub, I mean, I've got no idea. I can't give him an out. He has to give him a red card. He has to tell the referee to go to the monitor. He has to instruct him to send Tarkowski off.
But Seb, if I may say, I was in the studio yesterday and I said, this is a test for everybody sitting in the sofa watching a football game. If you turn around and there's one in the sofa who says he takes the ball first, okay, it's no free kick, then he has no clue about football. Mm-hmm. And it's interesting that these people are sitting in the VAR bus. They have an education of looking at things. I mean, where do you find proof that that's not a red card? Stevie started by saying that's a week in jail. I think that is a mild punishment.
I've said for a long time, Seb, I've said for a long time that an ex-pro should be in the VAR hub, and not for any of the rules of the game.
Yeah.
Not for the rules of the game. I would never lean on an ex-pro to be in the VAR hub, to lean on him for the rules of the game. That's the referee's job, and they know the laws inside out. But I know as a player, because I've done what Tarkowski's done. I think I've been sent off 6 times in my career when the red mist has descended. I've been there. I know exactly what a leg-breaking tackle looks like. And I could say within 1 second, and the boys could, and I said it in comms last night, you will not get an ex-pro who says that shouldn't have been a red card. And within 1 second, an ex-pro in the VAR hub could say to the referee, Paul Tierney, that's a red card all day long, and give him the reasons why. It would be cleared up straight away because, as I said, I've got no idea why Paul Tierney didn't help Sam Barrett out last night.
Stevie, you mentioned it in yesterday's show. That might have made a difference if there had been an ex-pro in the booth. You're kind of our former IFAB guy. You think that makes a difference in a situation like this?
Shouldn't in a situation like this, in all
because
honesty.
It's so obvious?
And that's my point here. And while I understand what Don is trying to say, I think Don is being very kind. There's nothing brave about making that decision. There's nothing that happened there that only an ex-pro can spot. That is as awful a challenge as you'll see in the game. Just plain and simple.
Has he just missed it in the derby? Is that?
Can't miss it.
No referee should be missing that. I cannot excuse that anyway. No referee, whether we had VAR or not. As a matter of fact, my only kind of question around this is, have referees become so lazy in a lot of the job that they do, or certainly around the big decisions, that thinking, I will sit on the fence here and wait for VAR to call and tell me otherwise. That's the only kind of if, and, or but here. But there is nobody who's in charge of any football game at any level should let that pass. None. There's no excusing it at all.
Last word. Go ahead.
No, they still do, Shaka, and that's why I support, and I've said it all along, that's the same as Don is saying, because sometimes these people find a rule and then they work backwards. But a pro would see straight away what Tarkowski is doing. Because he can say, I was first on the ball, but it doesn't matter, because you can hold your foot back. And we know this season, and we know, I remember Casemiro was sent off. It was quite milder than this, he was sent off. There's a lot of situations, but I think that a pro will see it differently in those cases, Shaka, because then you don't need, like we talked about that today at the Stamford Bridge, they used 4 or 5 minutes to understand something. And I think that you need some voice in there saying, no, he tried to do that, finish. Don't look for a rule.
Yeah, but to your point, Jan, we're not talking about non-league referees. We're not talking about third division. But supposedly, these are the best referees in the country.
But how did he miss it,
Supposedly,
Jack?
these are the best and most experienced referees.
Some would argue
So
in the
why
world.
do you think they missed it? Why do you think he missed it, Shaka?
I cannot. That's what I'm saying. I cannot understand or explain it, and I'm not even going to try to. I find it preposterous that we're having this discussion. That a top-class referee missed that. That is as bad a challenge as you will see in football today.
If Shaka can't explain it, I think it's a good moment to leave it right there.